Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready, it's a new day, and we're in for a treat. We got Big Perm.
What's happening, y'all? I'm back on. Let's get it.
And Gregg Rudolph.
What's up?
Mr. Lumberjack.
That already sounds like fun.
on.
Big
Trouble.
Perm
Sounds like trouble.
and Gregg Rudolph. Come on, dog.
Baby, how you doing, dog?
Come on.
Right.
So this year's MVP of our entire organization, 2021, was Gregg Rudolph.
Woo.
And
Come on,
our
dog.
MVP of freaking Black and Miles this year for the whole agency was Big Perm.
I got it.
Jose.
I knew
so
I
we
could
got
do
our
it.
MVPs
Got it.
on the couch together, and man, we're gonna let's jump right into it.
Come on.
You know, I think, you know, one of the things that, you know, Gregg, and we'll get to his story a little bit for those of you guys that don't know, just, you know, brief. Gregg's mid-30s, rounding the corner, almost 40 now, coming up pretty soon, and transitioned over into our business mid-30s, was successful in the car business, making multiple six figures, professional fighter, husband, father, all this going on, picks uproots, starts a completely new career path, bets on himself, comes here, and over the last 4 years has progressed himself into making over $600,000 this year,
Come on,
and
Greg.
has our MVP, and really just starting to rev it up, just starting
Getting
to
that engine going, huh?
just starting to warm it up
Just like
at
that
a nice
Chappelle.
place. And a lot of it, you know, we were just joking, you know, as he sat down, came in, I said, I like it, Gregg. I like the swag. Got the Jordans on, the jeans, looking good, looking like we're 40 going on 25.
You know what I'm
And you know, really a part of that is adapting. You know, we have the blessing and privilege to be mentors and to coach a lot of young people, you know, in our business, and young people have been a big part of your success, you know, in leadership.
big time.
How have you been able to adapt, you know, to coaching young people? What's that look like?
You know what? I think it comes easy just because deep down inside, I'm a 20-year-old.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yes.
young at heart.
Big kid.
I like to joke around a lot. You know, we do that a lot, you know, when we're together alone and, you know, in our small groups. But so I think that's easy. You know, it just comes off easy. But I've always been the type of person where you could put me in a warehouse, and if the warehouse was split into multiple rooms and each room had a different theme, you could put blue-collar iron workers in this room with shoes in and Tim's on work boots, or you go in the next room, it's a black tie event for millionaires, and next one's a bunch of women, next one's a bunch of 15-year-old. I'll work the room just as good, and you know what I mean? So
Where do you think that comes from?
it's just from being around a different bunch of people my whole entire life. You know, I get along with everybody. You know, I've been able to
person, huh?
chameleonize myself to get along with everybody, and that goes off. You know, being a young business owner, you know, you're winning people's hearts over before you win their business. For
sure.
They trust
No doubt.
you. You know,
No doubt.
Sure. Tell us,
Same
Greg.
thing in leadership.
yeah.
As a pro boxer, what would you say to someone that's thinking about transitioning out of the sport into business?
You know, well, our business is really fun, and there's a lot of similar traits and accolades, I guess you could say, because it's very competitive. So you come into a big organization, and I'm just not talking about our agency where we have, you know, 500 people. I'm talking about internationally where there's over 10,000 people competing for the spotlight, you know, every week, every month, every year.
Going at it.
Shout out to me, number 2 RGA for the year internationally,
Yes.
baby.
Internationally,
So, you know,
in
that's
his
like-
category,
that's huge
really
for
number
me.
one.
Huge.
Yeah, but that's huge for me. You know, I get to walk on stage at convention in Vegas in front of
Come on.
the whole entire company.
Vegas? You
So
gonna
that's
wear something
like
sharp?
that's like being in the ring, holding up your
what?
hands like, I did it, I won.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's competitive. There's always recognition, which is very important to competitive people. They like to be recognized.
Right.
You know, they love attention, positive attention. So not only that, but you know, if you're a money motivated person, which I am, which most people are in this industry, you can be rewarded very well with, you know, major league type money.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and
Right. And how long you been here with us?
be 4 years, February 8th.
4 years.
Yeah, so
Coming up
my
on 4
4
years,
Come on,
baby.
man. That's gonna be
Come on.
so fast.
Yep.
I call it graduating.
Right. It's
You know,
so
Yeah,
4 years.
college.
Graduating 4 years.
College.
Graduate like graduating college.
But instead of being 400 grand in debt, I made a couple million.
In the green and into the positive.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to ask you, you know, coming from, you know, it is a team sport more than people may realize.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Right,
boxing
right.
or wrestling or jiu-jitsu, because you know, where would we be without people that help us, coach us, partners, training partners, you
Right.
know, stuff like that. But really, it's an individual sport.
Right.
You know, boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, in the car sales business, I know you were managing some people, but a lot of that was, you know, you were in sales. You were
right. Doing
booming a bunch of sales,
doing
a
it
bunch of
himself.
cars, and
Right.
you know, that was like a lot of it was on you. So
Yeah.
transitioning from individual sport, more of an individual sport business wise, more recent into blending in, you know, to what we do, to running, you know, your own office, developing your own business, you know, here,
Sure.
and having 40 people, you know, that we're leading, you know, about to be 100, you know, people, multiple offices. What were some of the how did you transition from all right, it's all on me individually to, all right,
sure.
I got to depend on these 40 people to keep their stuff in line and to lead these people and to depend on these people, you know, how was that transition?
It's funny you say that, because that was a mistake that I made. If I could go back my first year, I would change some things. And even halfway through my second year here, I wanted to do everything myself. Everything. Like I wanted
Man,
to.
so you want to do it all.
I wanted to do all the recruiting, all the hiring, all the interviewing, all the I wanted to do it all because I thought nobody could do it better than I could.
Right.
And that might be true with some things, but the more people that you develop and really replace yourself with, they're going to grow. This person's going to grow. Your whole organization will grow at that point. So when I was working at the dealership, you know, it was all on me. Like I would have to get the people in. I would have to take them on a test drive. I would have to get them in my office. Hey, you want some coffee? You want some pop? Whatever. You know, how's the family?
Yep.
Act like you know, like you're their best friend. You know how freaking car salesmen are. So, you know, give them the runaround. Oh, here's the numbers. What are you comfortable with? You know, all the whole sale. It's a long process. And at the end of the day, you bring them into the finance room. You get them wrote up, and you're done, and they go on their way. So really, it's you. I mean, you did the whole thing, but here now you have. Let's just take for instance, your average MGA deal. You got maybe 4 SAs, a couple GAs, and a bunch of agents, right? So you've got managers that should be doing this, managers that should be doing that. You got GAs that should be doing interviews and finals and hiring people and recruiting, and it's like I said on stage at the award ceremony. It takes a small army to do what we do,
No doubt.
and I wanted to do
big
it all
army to
myself.
do what we're about to do.
I wanted to do it all myself, for the first couple of years, and that actually hurt me. It hurt my growth. And
So what advice would you give to somebody transitioning out of that? Because everybody that's like that, and I'll take that, because that's the opposite of being lazy, is I
Yeah.
want to do it all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So somebody transitioning into, man, I just want to grow. I want to develop, but I the reason why people don't do that is they don't want to drop the ball. So I don't want them to mess up. I feel like I can do it the best. So if they don't do it to that level, it's not going to be to the level that I want it to be at. So I might as well just do it all myself. Right. How mentally, because I think you win mentally before you win it physically.
Right.
How mentally do you make the sale as somebody that walked through that journey, to somebody listening to this, to get over, that?
It all comes down to being unselfish. I really think it is. And the more unselfish you are with things like this, the better off you'll be. Because if you take the time out, let's say you're developing a new person, it's going to take some time, and you may hit some struggles there, and your performance might not be the best for those couple weeks. But over time, that'll just start to pick back up and oversee. It'll just overcome what you were doing before, and you're able to just skyrocket because you've multiplied yourself into other people. So I really just, patience too. You know how impatient I am, man. I'm not patient at all. That's something that I've gone leaps and bounds of getting better
Big
at,
time
is being
group.
patient. But being
a lot of the
patient
greats
with
aren't
people,
patient though. You know,
Oh.
it's easier to take somebody super aggressive
Yeah.
in sports, you know what I mean, or whatever, and say, all right, we got to get you to breathe, calm down, relax, than to
Right.
somebody that has no aggression
Right.
and try to make them aggressive. Somebody, it's also hard. I'll take somebody that has a lack of patience and a sense of urgency, and I want it right now to attack it and try to gear that back and teach that,
Right.
versus having somebody that has just this lackadaisical, no sense of urgency.
Right.
So I'll take it all day.
yeah, I want it. I want it now. You know, I see something and I want it now. Like, come on, let's go. Why don't we have this yet? So
What,
it's
anything
hard.
surprise you? You know, but I want to get in a little bit about, you know, I always talk about, you know, what made you take the leap of faith. You know, as we're sitting here, you know, and Gregg and I, you know, we talk about it, we joke about it. It gets cliche to people that know us, but a lot of people are listening to this and they haven't heard it. You know, they haven't heard the thing before. You know, and you know, so me and Gregg didn't know each other
Right.
before this, you know,
Period.
business. So it wasn't like we already had a prior relationship. And we met for the first time outside at the Capitol Grill. And I remember he parked his car. I was parking my car at the same time. And we both got out.
Like lunchtime.
Yep. And met each other with similar energy. You know, it was like just strength and energy, man. It was like, man, I could already feel, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. And your reputation precedes you. You know, I'm sure he ain't just showing up at a place without doing some research and background on who the hell who is this dude?
Right,
you know what I mean?
course.
And I'm doing research and background on
It was the
who is
same.
this
It was the
dude?
same thing. Oh, watch out for this guy. Watch out for this guy. You know.
Yep.
Oh, I heard this. I heard that.
Yeah.
And then we
Yep.
got it both ways. So
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
I think that's
So he's probably you gotta, you know, you
Watch
watch
out
out
for
for
this
this,
dude.
and I'm,
Yeah.
you know,
Watch out.
you gotta watch
Watch
out
out
for
for
him.
that.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Watch
Yeah.
out for this.
Watch they do this, that. Yeah.
And man, it was just
Back
it
and
was
forth,
it
you
was
know, I really got to
natural
meet- right.
because you know, like he's a chameleon. You know, I grew up, you know, around everybody. You know, I grew up
Right.
around iron workers, steel workers. You know,
Right.
union. My grandfather, my uncle, all of them in the union. Grew up around street hustlers, and then I went to Ursuline High School, went to college, and so I got that balance of all that stuff. So I was comfortable coming into it. You know, that my spirit would be able to tell me. You know, and oftentimes, sometimes, man, the hidden genius in people makes other people feel a certain type of way, and I'm aware of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is sometimes the people that to some folks is this person is this way, or this person's that way, or they're this or they're that. I understand it and can relate to it because I look at it differently. Well, maybe they're just real. Maybe they just don't take your shit, and that makes that person a certain way to you.
Right.
Or maybe that person is ambitious and aggressive, you know, in building what they want, and so that person looks that way to you. You know what I mean? But to me, it's a completely, and so I was like, man, excited to judge for myself.
Have to.
And so we started to
Have to.
feel each other out. You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
We just started to meet at the Capitol Grill, and we would meet and have lunch and talk and just keep taking our time. We took our time with it, man. And wanted to make sure it was right. I wanted to make sure it was right. He wanted to make sure, you know, it was right. And after, you know, 6 months, you know, 3 to 6 months of that, he finally comes aboard. And so what made you take the leap of faith, you know, Gregg, in their mid 30s,
Already.
couple $100,000 a year, stable, you know what you're doing,
good.
you worked your
Right.
way up already in
Right.
that industry.
Right.
All right, I'm going to go do something I don't know 100%.
Right.
Dealing with a dude that I don't know.
Right.
You know, 100%, and I'm married and I got a kid. I think that's where people get stuck.
we had a kid
is
on the way too. We were pregnant.
Right.
Kid on the way.
Do you want to mess that? You know.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about pressure. Oh.
So
I
what
already know.
what made you take the leap of faith, man?
Well, the leap of faith was really taking my time on getting to know you. I mean, so we live in a world where everyone's personality, everyone's life is personed on Instagram and social media, and for the majority of it, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? People only put the positives out there on social media. Hey, look at me. This is what I did. They don't really see anything else. but most of it's really bullshit. Just from what I know, like I know a lot of people that just post a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? I want to say you're a fucking liar on your post. Like you're full of shit. But I don't, you know what I mean? I want to keep positivity, and I don't want to be portrayed like that either, to be a hater, you know, but a lot of people are full of shit. So your social media presence is heavy. Like you want to mentor people. You want to be, you know, looked at as, you know, a mentor, a coach, someone that's very successful, which all of it you are. But I didn't know that. I just saw the videos, you know what I mean, riding around, little bald dude in the Bentley, you know what I mean? Like you have to think in a way,
right,
this dude's probably full of shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I'm not saying that you were or anything, or I thought that, but I had to see for myself.
Right.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? I was curious. I knew you were successful because you can't do the things you do if you're not. So I said, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's take a chance. I want to meet this dude for lunch. Worst case scenario, I'll walk out of here with a friend and, you know what I mean?
Relationship.
And another friend
Now
that's a
sniff them
millionaire.
out. See who the hell's
Right.
out here riding
right,
around my
right.
city.
So
Right.
I'm,
You
You know what I'm
sniffing
saying?
them out,
Gotta meet this cat.
sniffing them out. And
Ball dude in the Bentley.
over time, I just really got to know how genuine of a person you are. And we have a lot of things in common.
Tons, bro.
Tons. So just over time, and, you know, you brought me around company events before I even started. So that helped out a lot because I saw the vision. I saw, and I knew a lot of people that worked here, you know, before, you know, we got together. So I've known Matt Diolis for, God, since we were teenagers, you know,
Wow.
and I've known Ryan Ohm since we were teenagers. I saw their success here. You know, Matt Diolis, you don't really get a better person in this company than Matt Diolis. I mean, he's a partner. He's a phenomenal person, father, you know, coach, mentor, whatever. You can't say nothing bad about the kid. So I was like, man, I knew Tommy for a while. You know, I knew all these people, and I knew what kind of money they were making. And I said, shit, if they can do it, I think I can do it, you know? So I said, let's do it. After, it was about 4 months, I think, but I got the licensing out of the way, like, immediately. I passed the test. I would work till like 10 o'clock at night, and I would go home, eat, and then stay up till about 1, 2 o'clock and just smash the course out for like 4 days. I would text you my progress, and you'd text me like 4 in the morning, like, hey, good job, holy shit. And just got licensed, and I didn't get licensed, actually. It took me another 3 months to get licensed because my prior criminal background.
Yeah.
You know, in my 20s, I was a wild man. I like to fight a lot.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
you
know,
were
I had a
a
lot of
boxer, right?
assault charges and, you know, stuff that would
like
limit
you
me
like-
from getting my license. So it's funny, you know, I didn't think I was going to get it. I'm like, holy shit, what did I do?
Bro, I want you to know I got a letter from the state that declined your license.
You didn't even tell
That
me.
same day.
He's like,
Same
"Well,
day.
God will fix it.
I talked to him, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm excited for you. You know, I was like, do you know how hard that is? And it was like something in me told me I'm going to find a way. Something, the Lord's going to find a way. Something's going to happen.
Wow.
Man.
And
Wow.
we were able to, and it never happens. Like,
Yeah.
it's done. You know, we
Right.
were able to get that reversed, and he never even really knew that happened until the license and all that, you know, stuff came in. And man, it was a lot of pressure on both of us. You know, pressure on him, you know, leaving, and
Now you didn't.
pressure on me.
Oh man.
You know,
That's
it's
hard.
like
yeah, that's a lot.
to
Be like-
take this on.
Right.
You know, of like I can't let him fail now. You know, we're connected. You know, I
Right.
got to make sure
Oh.
that. So we spent a lot of time together, man. I spent a ton of time together, and introducing him to the CEO of the company before he started, introducing him to Zoffin before he started, Marcus before he started, and we spent so much time together. And man, you know, I caught so much flack from it, you know, in the beginning of oh man, you're, you know, favoritism, you know, and this and that because you spend so much time and you know
Right.
with him and all
Right,
this.
yeah.
But
We still
you
get
gotta
it.
you gotta block the noise out. You know, you gotta block the noise out. Even when Gregg won the Lamborghini, you know, the
That was
car.
fixed. It was fixed.
Oh, I heard
got
that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's fixed. Like,
Oh.
I wish I could find a way to miraculously pull a
It
ticket
wasn't
out of a
because I had
bag.
400 tickets in there or nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we did like
Just crazy.
600,000
How was
ALP
that,
in
though,
production.
man? I got to go back to that. How was that winning a Lamborghini? Bro?
It was insane.
He ran around the parking lot.
I remember. I was there. I mean, I remember.
It
How
was
was
insane.
that?
It was so funny because I texted Nat D in the morning.
We were out there
We
together.
were talking about something, and I
Nat
was like,
D, I don't
feel
want
like
to steal
I'm
your
gonna.
juice.
I feel like I'm gonna win this Lambo today. And she's like, I had a dream.
Yeah, she
that
told
you
me
won
that
this.
the day of.
Yeah, even in
She's
my
like,
wife
I had a
said,
dream Rudolph
I think you're
won.
gonna
Wow.
win this.
Wow.
So I just kind of had like that little,
Did
you know what I mean? Like shit happens when you.
Yeah.
It was
And
weird.
Nat D's like some weird. Nat D got some type of weird blessing on her
Yes,
too.
you do.
I
My
call her
mom's
my
like that.
consigliere.
My mom's like that.
Yes, you
I go to like Nat D gives great
Yeah.
advice.
Yes,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yes,
yeah.
And knows how to
balance
be in the
everything,
middle
right.
and not
Yeah.
judge, and
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean,
She
and
wanna
all that
balance
stuff,
everything,
man.
right,
She's
right.
she's special. Greg, I think one of the things that's been cool, you know. Well, let me ask you before I get into that. Anything surprise you? Anything that you didn't expect? You know, because you tried to take your time, research. We talked a lot about
Yeah.
it. You know, other than the first day where you quit.
Mhm.
Is there
did.
anything
Definitely did.
anything that surprised you? Anything that you didn't expect in the deal, good or bad?
Go back to
Oh,
the
man.
first day, though. You say you said that.
Yeah, he quit his first day.
so-
I
so you
set
did
him
all
up.
this-
I set him up with Justin.
Well, you know, I was just super frustrated too. You know, I didn't have my license. I'm a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? I wasn't making money.
Right.
Thank God I had money saved
Right.
because
That-
you know what I mean, I was making
dropping
between 20 to 25,000 a month.
Right.
And you know, you start making that kind of money, you're like, yeah, I'm good. But you acquire bills. You know what I
Lots.
mean? So, but I had money saved up, so I wasn't that worried about it. But you know, we're going a couple months without getting paid because I don't have a license. And Justin takes me out in the field. He's like, yo, you know, we're going to go see 9 people today. This is how much money we're going to make. Blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about it. You're fine. I'm like, okay.
All right, sounds good.
Now, keep in mind, Justin is, if not, one of
The best.
the best
Yes,
sales trainers
He could
in
train.
the game.
He could
Yes,
train.
he is.
He's up there
Yeah.
the
with
best.
the best, right? Like,
Yeah.
Justin can do it all.
Yes, he can.
We went, I don't know how many, I think there was probably 3 people that didn't answer the door. 4 people were just like, I don't want this shit. Leave me alone. Get out of my house.
As bad as you could
Like
get for the day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh for
bad
8.
as you could
Yeah.
get
Oh
for
for
the day.
8. And we drove around.
For hours.
It was like
all
Tom Brady this
day
week got
long.
blank. Tom Brady, they held Tom Brady to 0 points for the first time in
yeah.
his career. That's how
It
this was. It's like it doesn't
Right,
happen.
Right, it doesn't happen.
He picked me up at like 10 a.m. It's like, bring food because we're going to be out all day we're going to make like $6,000 today. You know, I'm like, all right, let's
All
go.
right, let's do
motherfucker. Let's see what you got. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. So we come back at like 10 o'clock at night and we're both just,
Exhausted.
he's trying to be so positive.
Yeah.
And
he know you got to call me.
Right.
he's so, I could tell he's nervous because we didn't really have a relationship yet.
Right.
He was
Just trying to do what you gotta
uncomfortable.
do. Right, right.
You know, I mean, he was pissed off. I could tell, but he wasn't showing it.
Right.
Well, I was like, I know you're pissed off, motherfucker. You could
gotta
tell
be
me,
mad.
like,
Right, right.
come on.
Come on, be honest.
I had people calling me all day long. Hey,
they going?
How'd
I'm
it
on my
go?
way up to the dealership. I want this
I wanna
Cadillac. It's
buy.
all
Oh.
I
I'm
wanna
like,
buy.
fuck, I just missed out on $4,000 there on a
Right.
commission. I'm like, what am I doing? Driving around doing nothing. You know what I mean? I could be
Right.
making like $10,000 right now.
Right.
And
That's the devil.
so the next day, I went home and I was just completely.
Like-
My wife was like, "What's wrong?" I was
I
like,
don't know about this.
"I'm fucking done.
Yeah, this ain't going.
I'm done." I was like, "I'm going back to see Vic tomorrow. I'm gonna beg for my job, tell him I made a mistake, and hope to God he gives me my job back." So I didn't sleep.
course.
I stayed up all night. I drove to the dealership at 7:45 because I know he gets there at 7:45.
Yeah, you got to be there.
I walked straight up to his office. I was like, "Yo," he's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Can't get my job back."
Just like
He,
that.
he just started laughing. He's like, "Sit down." He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Well, this is going on. You know what I mean? I went out. I can't get licensed. I didn't make any money yet. This happened. I went 0 for 8 yesterday. This fucking sucks."
Right.
He was like, "Well, you can't have your job back."
Oh.
And I said, "What do you mean?" And we're boys, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? I didn't even expect him to say that.
Right.
He was like, I had to hire 3 people just to do your job. Like I had to hire 2 people to do the internet sales, and I had to hire another sales guy for the floor. 3 people just to do what you did. I was like, well, get rid of them.
Right. Let them go. What you
I was like, I earned that shit. Get rid of them. He's like, no. He said, you need to go back. He said, you need to do it for a year. And after a year, if you want your job back, I'll give you your job back. I'll fire everybody. It's yours. I'll even give you a promotion, whatever you want. But you have to give this at least a year because you don't even know what is entailed yet. Like you didn't even start yet. So here is somebody that, I would sell, I think the last month I was there, I sold like 61 cars.
61
and your
cars.
Average,
that's a lot.
Your
of cars.
average car salesman sells like 12 a month.
Yeah.
15, 20 if they're goats. And I'm out here balling 40 to 60, right? So that's a hard pill to swallow, losing someone like that. So props to him for releasing me and let me figure out what I want to do with my life and just see if it's a better opportunity. But that's why I always have a lot of respect for him. He's a friend. You know what I mean? Like I call him. We talk all the time. But yeah, that was my first week, and then the next day, before that, no, it was after that. Was it before or after I talked to him? But anyway, we ended up in the South Hills office, and I was like, I got to talk to you guys, and I didn't want to do it over a phone call.
Right.
I mean, that would be a little bitch move. So I was like, I at least have to give this guy some respect, and I want to talk to him face to face.
Right.
So this office was being built at the time, and we met at the South Hills office, me, Justin, and Simon. We went into Britton's office, and Britton just happened to be in there, and Britton stayed for the conversation because I've known Britton too, and I was comfortable, talking to him about it. So the 4 of us were in there, 5 of us, whatever. And I was like, guys, this isn't for me.
Right.
I was like, I got to go back to doing, what I was doing, or I need to make money. I just don't see myself driving around all day, sitting in people's, living rooms or kitchen tables and selling them life insurance. I'm just not passionate about it, I don't think.
Right.
And got emotional. I had a lot going on. And by the grace of God, you guys talked me back into it. I think Britton had a lot to do with it too. He said some nice things there. And we figured out another game plan. We figured out, all right, let's get some production, prove to people that you can do this, get some respect, which I think I did. I wrote 150,000 ALP in like 90 days, 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
I was a top agent in the company my first month. I was top SA in the company, top GA, and then I got my MJ promotion 4 months in the deal from hire, which people were pissed about, super pissed. Like, fuck this dude.
I had to hear it.
It takes years to be an MGA. It's because you're a boy. Like, no, it was because I had like 60 people in the pipeline and like 15 submitting agents. But I recruited the doors off. I was like, you know what? I know I don't want to drive around all day and just sell. I want to teach people how to sell. I think I can impact people more. So I just recruited the doors off. Made a bunch of money on recruiting. Started to get some great people in the door, some great hires. I learned how to do job posts, pick people's brains in the company. Like Jason Bratton was really good at that at the time. So did a workshop with him on how to, get on, like ZipRecruiter was big at the time. So he sent me over some job posts. I altered them a little bit. Shout out to him. But like just little shit like that. And then I would just attack from literally 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. I was on the phone getting people into my overviews, interviewing them, hiring them, just hiring the doors off.
Your skill.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm all in.
Which is your gift.
And I was pissed off.
Wow.
I was pissed off. I was like, I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to do it. And, first year was history. Boom. And I was hooked after that. And in that end of the first year, I started to get some really, really solid people, and we had some momentum, and I had some people that could train. Hired one of my dear friends, Ryan Hritz, who's going to be a beast this year coming up. He'll do $1 million alone in his GA deal.
How long you think did it take you to say in your mind, all right, I'm here?
That's what I'm saying. You were leaving saying, this is it. I mean, I remember the story.
Well,
the
the first year was completely wishy-washy. I was dedicated. I was here every day.
No doubt.
All the time. I was bought in. I was 100% here, but I was also 100% like I could quit at any time. Like if another opportunity presented itself where I'm going to make $250,000 a year and it's guaranteed and I don't, you know what I mean? Like it would be hard not to take it, honestly. And, but at the same time, like I didn't really want to go back to the car. Like that was,
You did that.
I fell into that by accident. Like I met with Victor to get money off of him to sponsor me for a fight. And he was like, hey, I'm buying a dealership. You want to come work with me? Because I wasn't working at the time. I was just fighting. Like I filed bankruptcy 2 years before that because my business got all jacked up because my daughter had cancer. And I had money put away. I had a bunch of cash from doing what I used to do. Right. And I wasn't worried about money. I owned a gym. I was making money. And then I sold that, and I was just chilling. You know, my house was paid for. My cars were paid for. So I didn't really want to work. I just wanted to. I was doing real estate. You know what I mean? That was like how I got money. So I didn't really want to get into the car industry to begin with. I just kind of fell into it, and I started making a lot of money. And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to stay." But ended up doing that, and shit, it's just worked out. You know, till the next best thing came about, and this was to me the next best thing. And to answer the question, I would probably say my second year, once I started to get growth bonuses, was when I, was completely bought in. I think I got a $60,000 growth bonus.
Okay.
Or something ridiculous my second year as an MGA. And that's on top of what they pay you weekly.
No doubt.
So imagine just getting 60 G's just slapped into your bank account from the growth that you had from the previous year.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, there's something to this. And that was the same time that Britain got like 106,000. Like Britain got a big ass one.
100
it was
grand.
Like 106 grand or something.
100 grand for the quarter.
I was like, damn, if I just stick around, like I could probably, do the same thing. And then people like Mark were really starting to get developed. Mark Bernsdorf, Ryan Ritz, Cam Gray, like all of my top people, they were brand
Started
new.
Getting traction.
And they didn't really,
year.
we didn't really know what was going on. We didn't have the best,
The best. You just worked with
leadership techniques going on and training. We were still figuring it all out. And by the end of that second year, I was promoting RGAs and we were rocking, opening up offices. And then this year it was just, people get to a certain level in this business and they just get better from the people around them. And it's not just us, it's people in the company, like they're reaching out to other people and other agencies and getting their scripts and getting better, and everything's just evolving.
Multiplication and evolution.
So I feel like this year was just like, you couldn't pry me away from this career. Like, I'd be heartbroken. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do.
No doubt.
Like, I love what I do.
No doubt.
And
I knew you would.
I'm at the point now where like
the best part, man, is watching you get renewals.
Never leave.
Residuals. You sending me pictures of the residuals. I always use whatever the person was doing before and say, imagine if, so if they were in the coffee business, at Starbucks, I'd say, imagine for every coffee that left the window, they'd give you a percentage of that for the rest of your life. Imagine for every car that left the dealership that you sold, they'd give you a percentage of their monthly car payment for the rest of their life. Imagine how much money that you would have.
I'm building my house right now solely off of my residuals, I feel like. And that's guaranteed money coming in.
Unbelievable.
We're backed by Globe Life. They've been around since
100+ years.
Over 100 years. Like, this company isn't going anywhere.
No doubt.
So that I feel like the security I have just with the residual income I have that's reason for me enough to build the house.
Speaking of security, how important do you think it is to have spousal support, to get support from your spouse or significant other?
How was that?
And what advice would you give to somebody that don't have it yet?
Man, I always like the saying, it's better to have a wife that has your back and that's not on your back. You know what I mean? I think I heard that from you.
Yeah.
And that is so true. So true. And everybody has their role, I believe. And, my wife still works She's a marketing director and a manager for a company. They do like crowd control. So she's got her master's degree in marketing, very good at building websites and managing things like that. And so she's super independent. And she's good at what she does. She works from home. I think she has to go in 1 day a week. But we still put little G in daycare so she can, work. Because she works hard. But she also takes care of the house. Does all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the laundry. She takes my son to daycare every day, picks him up.
It's a job right
that's
there.
a six-figure job right there.
I mean,
doubt.
it is.
Right?
No doubt.
So I don't have to worry about none of that shit. All that's done. If I was single or if I had a wife that was a lazy piece of shit that just wanted to sleep all day and I had to go home and do my own laundry and cook my own food and this and that, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing.
Absolutely not.
There's no way in hell.
No doubt.
So she's a G. She works. She's a hard worker.
Vital to have that.
Oh my God.
What if
Makes it 10
somebody don't
times
have
easier.
just the support, of maybe they're starting out in their first couple months or first 6 months, and it's like, man, they don't quite have that support yet.
It's hard, yeah.
What would
Talk
you say?
about someone that's single too. You like someone that's single?
Yeah.
You have to be super disciplined, and your schedule has to be ironed out to a T every single week. You have to know when you're waking up. You have to know when you're going to do your laundry. You have to know what time you're going to the gym, which should be early in the morning so you can focus the rest of the day on your business. You should know when you're going to cook food. You should know what time you're going to bed. You should know what time you're going to pick up your prescriptions from Rite Aid. I mean, literally everything should be ironed out because it's on you, right?
Gregg.
If you got someone that's helping you do that, it's a game changer.
No doubt.
Gregg, tell us a little bit. How would you describe Simon's leadership style, if you could?
Simon's leadership style. I would say Simon's leadership style is very, very, very good. It's, I've modeled my leadership style directly off of what he does.
You just copycat exactly what he
it's
did.
all the best people just copycat and plagiarize other people's shit.
Right.
So I said, he's good at what he does, so I'm going to copy that. And I'll talk a lot about that. He reprimands in private. He gives praise in public, which is very, very important. Mm-hmm. He gets to know somebody before he actually coaches them, so he knows how to coach them.
Correct.
All right, so
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I got to feel you out. If I'm coaching you, I'm going to say, hey, what are your goals in life?
Right.
How much money you want to make?
Yeah, you're gonna be
all right. You told me you want to make
different,
$500,000 a year.
Right.
I'm going to have to coach you hard as shit.
to make this.
Are you okay with me coaching you hard? Are you okay with me getting in your ass a
right.
little bit?
If
Are you
not-
going to be soft? Are you going to cry? Are you going to not
I need
take
to know this
my
now.
coaching?
Right.
So getting to know someone, getting to know what their goals are in and out of the business, what, or they want to retire their mother, do they want to take care of their family, what makes them tick, all right? From there, you know how to coach somebody. And then it's just literally keeping them accountable, meeting with them, going over their goals, writing them out, 3-4 times a year, going over their performances for the quarter, a lot of accountability, and he has a great delivery of everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Really, really good delivery.
It comes across well.
Yeah, even if he's emotional about it, you can't tell.
Right.
It's just
Him.
calm, just super good delivery. Always knows the right thing to say.
Yeah.
Always takes personal feelings out of it.
Right.
And my delivery, I feel like, has gotten a lot better over the past couple of years. I was pretty. I was
Tough.
pretty
You were aggressive.
aggressive.
Yeah, I can. You were aggressive. Why ain't you?
At times this year, I've messed up a few times, but
Yeah.
But that's something where I like to get better at is the delivery, and it's patience too.
Yeah. So in the beginning, you were in here, you were leaving, you were done with it. Now, what you came back, and what made you believe in Simon and staying with this agency? What exactly?
That growth bonus.
Is that what it was? That growth bonus?
the money,
The
the
money.
opportunity.
So you
Started
waited-
making some big bank.
Because you said you waited after when you got that 60 bands. You said now this is real.
Yeah.
Now this is something.
It wasn't only that.
Okay, so
I
it
will
wasn't-
tell you that was probably the main reason. I don't want to sound like
No.
I'm just all about the money.
Right.
But big part of it, because once you have money, you can really do what you want to do.
Absolutely, 100%.
You can help people. You can do. You can fund things.
Right.
Whatever.
For sure.
But it wasn't just me making money. It was the people around me.
Everybody.
It was the people that I had, you know, I brought in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And their lives are changing. And then you start to really think about it. You're like, man, this dude just bought a $500,000 house in Tampa because he met you.
Yeah.
This kid just bought a brand new Range Rover. This kid just gave his mom $6,000 in cash for Christmas.
Wow. Wow.
This dude is
because of-
paying his mom's bills. This girl just bought a house and she's 21 years old.
Changing lives.
You just start to think
good.
like
Addicted to
holy
it.
shit, like dude, you have a big fucking impact on other people's lives. And not only that, but you made a bunch of mistakes in your 20s. You get to make sure they don't make those mistakes.
Right.
So then you're
Right.
just like, shit, I really want to help people.
Right.
I
Feels
like
good.
helping
Right.
people.
Feels good.
You know what I mean? So that's when it really starts to get fun, and that's when you will really all the rewards will really, you know, makes your day. You know
Makes
what I
it
mean?
all worth it.
It makes me tick now. Like I don't
Right.
look at my paychecks. I look at other people's paychecks
See
first.
what they get. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if your people aren't making the money, then you're not making any money.
Speaking of all those people having success in your organization, what would you say are some of the traits of people that have the most of amounts of success? Because when you name those people, I mean, you got African American people having success, you got women having success, you got
Everybody.
young women having success, you got college kids having success, you know, you got people in different states having success in different levels of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you got somebody with a big long beard
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
success.
Yep.
So just if we were to put your people up that have success, they all look so different. I mean, you got
at these
somebody that
different
looks like he's
personalities.
you got somebody that looks like he lives in a hut hunting
Cave.
fish in the ice in Antarctica.
Yeah.
And then you got somebody that's 225 pounds, black dude,
Yeah.
athlete. You got 5 foot tall, 21-year-old women
can't-
having success. You got college kids look like models with
Yeah.
15-pack
Yeah.
abs
Yeah.
having success.
Come on.
So it's like it's the League of Nations.
I got them all.
But
I got
what
the
is
frat
the
boys, I
what
got
is the what is the traits?
athletes?
Everybody.
I got them all.
Do you have any traits that stand out of like them all? Like one of my favorite books is From Good to Great, Jim Collins, and what he did is he isolated the companies over a period of time that they went from good to great and they stuck out, and then he went back and wiped out all the things that were different and found all the similarities, and then he started to talk about those similarities that they had in common.
Yeah.
What would be the similarities that all these different people have?
I would say they're all competitive. They all like to compete. Very few number of the people are competitive that do well with us. I would say they're all money motivated. They want to make money. They enjoy helping others,
Right.
which is new people. They enjoy serving people, which would be our clients, our members. We've had tons and tons and tons of death claims this year. I had two personally myself. But
Ain't that crazy?
We've had a bunch of death claims, and they're just like, holy shit! Like I really help this family. What we do is real. I switched it up this year. As you know, we got the office in Monroeville. We own it, me and you. And from that day forward, I make everybody come into the office.
Right.
Like they can work from home if they want, but I really encourage everybody to be in the office because we have a blast in there.
Right. It's atmosphere there.
They
Right.
see other people making money. They see other people hustling, so they mimic that because they don't want to, feel like when you're around other people, you're held more accountable.
Right,
When you're
exactly.
at home,
It's just
like
you.
your dog can need-
Distracted.
this-
Distractions.
tons of distractions, and you just
Yep.
don't work as hard.
Yep.
So, but that's huge. Like the office culture we have is huge. But not only that, but there's people. I really think the Florida office sparked a lot for us. I would give the Florida office all the credit on the office culture. Mark did a phenomenal job. Him, Spencer, Mike, all those guys down there, just getting people in, people making stupid money.
No doubt.
Their social media, their Instagram, like it's all on fire. And so I copied what they're doing.
Right.
You know, I mean, here's someone that I recruited teaching me shit. Like, man, I need to step up my game because Mark's whooping my ass. So literally, I just wanted to copy what they were doing.
Love it.
That's why I wanted to buy the office. I was like, I'm going to invest some money into this and get it back tenfold, get that office culture cracking. And, it's a lot easier for people to make money and learn the industry when just your manager's a knock away. Like, hey, I'm having trouble on this presentation. I'm going to get my manager real quick to explain that to you. Come in, close the deal. Boom. Happened last night. I mean, Lenny was struggling on an appointment. Cam heard it. Cam walked in his cubicle. Actually, boom, 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 boom. Closed it 2 minutes later. You know what I mean? 1,500 ALP.
Yeah.
Lenny made $800 in 40 minutes.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because Cam was right there. If Lenny was at home, he wouldn't have got that sale.
Right.
That's just how that shit
Boom.
works.
Yep.
So big part. Big part.
Closing out, what would you say, like if somebody blindfolds me is like, all right, you have no time to think about this, what topic are you most passionate about?
Boom.
I got a couple go-tos that are in my heart that I wouldn't have to manifest or dream up the right amount of passion because I believe in it so deeply it'll just come out naturally. What do you think would be maybe something you're most passionate about when it comes to being successful in business or building a business? If I said, all right, Greg, we got no time to think about it. Pick what you're most passionate about that you think would bring success in business. Somebody as an entrepreneur starting up a business, anything listening in that's not in our business. Just this is what you're most passionate about. Can you talk about that subject and maybe give some tips or advice in that area?
To like be successful in an industry?
Yep.
I think really you got to be relentless. Number one, if you want a 9-to-5 job, you're going to get 9-to-5 results. Okay. You're going to get your paycheck. You're going to have just enough money to pay your bills and then go have a couple drinks at the bar, drive your, average car, whatever, maybe you got a nice car, but you're going to live paycheck to paycheck for a very long time. If you want to own your own business, if you want to take it to the next level, be successful, it's going to take a long time. You're going to have to be relentless. You're going to have to be passionate about everything that you do. You're going to have to build your own reputation. So you have to build your own self, build your brand. You have to do the right things all the time, not some of the time, but all the time. Put yourself last. Being relentless is not giving up if you have a bad week, not giving up if you had a bad month, if you have a bad year, not giving up. Andy Frisella lived in his store for 10 years and didn't take a paycheck for 10 years. Talk about being relentless.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
One of the best podcasts in the world, multi-millionaire, lived in his store for 10 years selling supplements. You know what I mean? You think that's being relentless? Like, that's the shit that it takes.
No doubt.
But know that you're going to work more than 40 hours a week.
Right.
You're going to get up early. You're going to suffer. You're going to sacrifice. You're going to do shit that you don't want to do for a long time. But you keep doing it, you end up getting everything that you wanted and more. And when you can develop people and share that with other people, it makes it 10 times better because then you can delegate a lot of things to other people. And then you can be on the golf course at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Friday, or you can be on a yacht cruising the Bahamas with your people. You know what I mean? So it may take 2 years, it may take 5, it may take 20. But for those amount of years that it takes, be fucking relentless.
Come on, baby.
That's what
I love it. Let's go. Beautiful. I wanted to, also, man, just tell you how grateful I am, for you, man, and what you've brought to the business and the energy and the spark that you've brought to the business. I'm proud of you. I'm grateful for you. I'm not surprised at all. And, I called you recently. I want to let you know, if you need anything, make sure you know that you can call me. We spent so much time together in the first couple of years because I felt like you needed that, more than you need now.
Sure.
I'm not going to let this dude fail. I'm going to be connected to his hip. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to be there for him and have that relationship with him until I know for sure that you can walk on your own, drive on your own, ride the bike on your own, all of that. And now here we are, almost 4 years in and we bought that office together and you're running multiple offices and you're having, success. And so it's the care is still the same, and the relationship is still the same, but the time that we get is not the same.
Right.
And we still get time, but not the time that we used to constantly get, all the time. And it's because I know that you got it, and a lot of times I'll call you and ask, is there anything you need? Like, I got it, I'm good.
Yep,
but just know that it ain't nothing changed, over here. I'm haven't forgot about you, haven't gotten any less appreciative or grateful, for what you're doing. I just know you got it, and I'm focusing on the others that I know that need me to walk them and help them and teach them, because I know you got it down, and I think that's the best compliment you could pay somebody, is just knowing that side of the field is now locked down, right. That I no longer have to have safety help over the top. Yep. Where I would need to be safety help over the top as much, I know that that side of the field is locked down, right now, and you've become one of those type of players, right now. So I'm excited for you to look at what the next 4 years, looks like for you. And when I joke and say, 4 years here is like getting a degree, in college, and 2 years in, 6 years, it's like getting a master's, and 8 years in, it's like being a doctor. Yep. When you get that doctorate, here in the next 4 years, man, it's going to be quadruple whatever you Google, what the average doctor makes, and similar impact, with no disrespect to those that are in the medical field and play such a big role. We just had a friend of ours, Nat D's father-in-law, last night had a serious issue. He had random on the right that day, had to have open heart surgery, and Aaron's dad, and he feels better today. Said better than ever, better than he's felt in the last 10 years. Wow. So much respect for those in the medical field. So when I give that analogy, I don't want it to sound demeaning, but man, just the lives that you impact. They may not be on the operating table, but they're on the operating table of life and helping a lot of people. That same type of impact and a bunch of money is what you guys are going to see, in the next few years from Gregg Rudolph. Where could somebody find you if they wanted to follow you on social media?
I'm always on Facebook. We're old, so we do a lot.
Old people on Facebook.
A lot on Facebook. Hit me up on there. Instagram's.
Is it just Gregg Rudolph?
Gregg Rudolph 412. Because somebody already had my name. Some poser.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 412. I think there's an underscore in there or whatever. Yeah. I don't do TikTok. I refuse to.
We'll take Instagram. We'll take Instagram and Facebook.
Good at returning
I'm on TikTok. No, if you need to find me on there, Simon Arias, check me out. I'm gonna be on whatever else is coming up next too. But thanks, man, for joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready, it's a new day.